Hey everyone, we have a fun mod today. I'm just going to go ahead and open this package that I received. This mod was done quite a while ago. I don't even remember when I did it, so I don't remember who had sent this to me. I think it was someone who follows me on Instagram or YouTube. They reached out. They said that they had bought one of the Inside Gadget's overclock mod. I know originally he had sent it in with the Gameboy overclock mod, and it was definitely way too big. I had told him, I was like, I'll see if I can get it to fit, but I'm pretty sure it'll be too big. It ended up being too big, and he sent me the proper sized overclock mod. So here we have a Japanese blue Gameboy Micro, pretty nice condition. Most people who send things in kind of want to get the USB-C mod in there. So this one will definitely get a USB-C mod. Just taking a look at the console, making sure it works. There's some yellowing to the screen. I made sure he knew that. He knew that. I think he asked me to fix it. I wasn't really sure how to fix it, so I don't think it ended up being fixed. I'm just going to pop in Pokemon Ruby. I think he also might have said that some of the buttons were not working, so I think it definitely needed a cleaning, and I think that's what I did, but we'll see later on in the video. So right now I'm just booting up Pokemon Ruby. Yeah, so the buttons are definitely not working. Trying to get past this little menu here, but I can't get past it unless I push the button really hard. So that's a pretty good sign that maybe there's some buildup on those contacts and it needs a cleaning. So definitely you could tell that I need to push buttons pretty hard. I was definitely checking the start and select buttons because it's not uncommon for that ribbon cable to tear, and I wanted to make sure that this wasn't going to be an issue. But everything seems to work, just some contacts need to be cleaned, so we're definitely going to open this up and give it a nice cleaning. Alright, we're going to take a look at the kit that my customer sent in. Inside Gadget makes some pretty awesome stuff. I would definitely recommend buying from him. I think his name is Alex. He makes some really cool stuff. The only unfortunate part is that sometimes his really cool stuff is out of stock, and you'll just have to wait for him to make another one. Alright, so we're just laying down some paper towel, getting everything ready to open up this micro. I'm still trying to figure out a good camera setup. I'm struggling with that, but maybe sometime in the future I can get something set up pretty nice. So you guys have seen me open up a micro probably a million times already. We're just going to speed through it. I figured out how to do the fast forward button on this thing, so you guys don't have to sit through those really long teardown videos. If I remember correctly, this micro had a very stripped screw, so I guess that's what I'm showing you guys right here. These screws were pretty rounded. It was pretty difficult to get it undone, but I just moved up in size, added some pressure, and I was able to get that screw removed. I had to go into my secondary screwdriver kit. I think it's a good idea to have multiple screwdriver kits, even though they might indicate the same size. They're not all created equally, so sometimes one size and one of the screwdriver kits doesn't work. I'll go to that same exact size in my other screwdriver kit, and I find that it fits better. So I definitely recommend having multiple screwdriver sets on hand. I only have 2 at the moment. I might get a 3rd one if I find one that I really like. My big head's going to be blocking the view for a little bit. I apologize. Like I said, I still need to figure out a good camera setup. Alright, getting back to the teardown. Shouldn't run into any more issues. I might play some music over this. It's kind of weird just sitting here in silence. It's still 2025, technically the 20th anniversary of the Micro. I've been trying to post stuff more frequently, but it's still pretty difficult. Starting a new job, we just took on some new hires. I'm sort of training them, so very busy. When I get home, I immediately just want to crash and sleep for 15 hours. I have collected some pretty cool stuff this year, and I think I might want to do a giveaway at the end of the year, so hopefully I can do something like that. I think that would be fun. Alrighty, so we have the board out. We can see kind of dirty right there on the pads. So they could definitely use some cleaning with some isopropyl alcohol. Alright, we're going to take out the GBA accelerator kit. It looks like it comes with these wires here. I'm not going to use these wires. These wires are definitely too chunky to go in the Micro, in my opinion. I will definitely use the enameled wire, the really thin one. It came with enameled wire. That's pretty awesome. I usually use enameled wire from these Delta headphones I get when I take flights. Here we have the overclock mod. You have these 6 pads, and then there's 2 pads on the left, actually 3 pads on the left as well. You don't use all 6 of those pads. I believe you only use 3. Like I said, it's been a minute since I actually did this mod. I'm just getting around to going through all my old footage, finding all the videos related to this video, and putting it all together. Alright, so I soldered them, tried to make them look really neat. I definitely went artistic with this mod, so you'll see later on. But this was very fun to get really artistic with. Alright, right here I will try to show you how I mounted the actual mod to the Gameboy Micro. I don't have any double-sided tape, so what I did use was some Gorilla Glue, kind of like, not super glue. It's a glue that I was using for my bathroom actually. I was looking for like a waterproof silicone-based glue. That's what this is. What's really awesome about it is that when it dries, it holds very well. And if you want to remove it, you can just remove it, and the glue, like, it's so easy to peel off. So I let the customer know before I actually glued it down. So here is what I was referring to going artistic with it. I have all the wires going to all the pin outs, and I wanted to route them in a really cool way. So please enjoy this little, I guess, montage. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but a very fun activity for me. I really like I really like routing the wires through the legs on that chip there. That was fun. One thing to make note of is that even though you are routing this enameled wire, you have to be very careful. especially with the sharp turns and going underneath the legs. If you accidentally scrape away that enamel, you could definitely create a short. I double checked or triple checked everything to make sure that there were no shorts happening, but that is definitely a possibility. So if you do something like this, keep that in mind. I wasn't able to find the video of me removing the clock, I guess, for the micro. If you can see sort of there up in the left, there's 4 pins that were there where the clock used to be. Obviously, if you're going to do an overclock mod, something that slows down the clock and speeds up the clock, one of the go-to places is the casino and Pokemon Fire Red. So what I did was, I think I held down the start or select and clicked the left trigger, and that would either slow it down or speed it up. So you would click start or select, click the left trigger to speed it up, click the right trigger to slow it down. Obviously I slowed it down for this situation. This is my first try trying to get jackpot. And as you can see, boom, got it on the first time. Obviously, I tried to do it multiple times after this, and I could never get it again. So even though it was slowed down quite a bit, I still couldn't hit it afterwards. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you guys like the whole process or anything. I guess I just didn't record it. Like I said, the camera setup, it's just hard to set up a camera for every single time I make moves. But I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. It was fun to make.